Fitzgerald. Freshman defender number 2, Ian Kalis. Junior defender number 5, Matthew Thomas. Sophomore defender number 6, Christian Diego. Sophomore number 8, Nick C. Senior forward number 10, Mike Rella. Freshman defender number 14, Joseph Hawk. Sophomore defender number 15, Cole Grossman. Senior defender number 17, Pablo Castaneda.
Okay.
Junior defender number 18, Josh Biedenfeld. And senior defender number 23, Darius Barnes. Head coach of the Blue Devils is John Kerr. He's assisted by Michael Brady and Ryan Amos.
Okay. Welcome to ACC Select in Surprise Stadium. My name is Tim Powers, and I'll be bringing you all the action as the #1 Wake Forest Demon Deacons prepare to do battle with the Duke Blue Devils in a Saturday night Atlantic Coast Conference showdown. The Blue Devils enter the match at 6-5-1 overall with a 2-2-1 mark in ACC play, while the Demon Deacons hold a record of 13 wins, 0 losses, and 0 ties with a 4-0-0 mark in conference action. Wake Forest remains the only unbeaten and untied team in the entire nation. Wake Forest is currently tied atop the ACC with Virginia, while Duke stands in a tie for 4th place with Clemson. Wake Forest is considered the consensus #1 team in the nation as decided by all 4 major college soccer polls, while Duke dropped from the rankings last week after a conference loss to North Carolina. Duke lost its last game, a 2-1 decision in overtime to Florida Atlantic, a loss that really surprised a lot of people. Blue Devils will start with Ian Kalis, Matthew Thomas, Christian Iviega, Nick C., Mike Grella, Joseph Pock, Cole Grossman, Pavelid Castaneda, Josh Bienenfeld, and Darius Barnes, while the Demon Deacons will counter with Akira Fitzgerald and net, Sam Cronin, Lyle Adams, Austin DeLuz, Marcus Tracy, Corbin Bowen, Mike LaHood, Cody Arnaud, Evan Brown, Danny Wenzel, and Ike Opara. The key for this match for Duke is going to be if they can hold the Wake Forest offense, currently tops in the nation at 3.7 goals per game with their great goalkeeper, Brendan Fitzgerald. He averages just about 9.93 goals against per game, and he's only given up 9 goals in 11 matches. That's number 5, Matthew Thomas, with the throw-in. Duke controls in the midfield. It's taken by Corbin Bone, number 10, for the Deeks. Deeks is up. He's up with Arnaud. Switches field to Arnaud. Arnaud streaks, shoots, and a good save by Fitzgerald there. Deeks with an early opportunity. Duke controls in the back. Up into the midfield. A nice step through there by Ike Opara. And it's repossessed by Duke. There's Mike Grella, the dangerous number 10 for Duke. He's a product of Glen Cove, New York. He's on the Herman Trophy watch list. He's certainly a candidate for that. He actually has 10 of Duke's 20 tallies on the year. He's incredibly dangerous. He's a striker for them, number 10. Here's Mike LaHood with the ball. Up to Cody Arnaud. Arnaud controls in the midfield, backpedals. And we'll give that back to freshman Danny Wenzel. Wenzel controls. Over to Ike Opara. Opara is actually a product of Durham, North Carolina, and you see Corbin Bone springing free here. He shoots! Oh, and a great save there by Brendan Fitzgerald. The Deeks really pouring it on early, just 2 minutes into the game. 2 very good opportunities. You can see Fitzgerald control the ball there in the red jersey. Duke wears black and goes from left to right. Wake Forest and white going from right to left. It's a 50-50 ball, one in the midfield by Wake Forest. And that's Evan Brown back to Akira Fitzgerald. It's Danny Wenzel to Mike LaHood. LaHood controls. Up to Austin DeLuz, a product of Winston-Salem. His father is actually the coach of the women's team. LaHood controls the ball in the midfield. Back to Danny Wenzel. Wenzel will play a ball up for Lyle Adams, but a little too far. You'll see Duke probably play some sort of an offside trap against Wake Forest. Wake actually leads the ACC in offsides per game at 4.5. And that's Sam Cronin, another Herman Trophy watch list candidate, up over to Lyle Adams. Adams controls to the middle to Cody Arnaud, who flicks it, but it's overtaken by Duke. Up to Mike Grella, but a little bit too far. Opara controls in the back. Here's Danny Wenzel bringing the ball off the left side. He plays a ball, but a little miscommunication there between he and Lyle Adams. And that's number 14, Joseph Pock for the Blue Devils, who controls the ball and plays it forward. Grella flicks it into the forefield, but it's overtaken there by Ike Opara. Opara will control the ball, give it to Danny Wenzel. And that's Mike LaHood from Annandale, Virginia. Up to Opara. As I said before, Opara from Durham, North Carolina, where the campus of Duke University is located. And a little interesting piece there. Wake Forest actually starts 5 players from the state of North Carolina. That's Sam Cronin, who's from Winston-Salem, Austin DeLuz from Winston-Salem, Cody Arnaud from Wilmington, North Carolina, Evan Brown from Raleigh, and Ike Opara from Durham. Nice play there in the midfield. That looked like number 18, Josh Bienenfeld. But a throw-in for the Deeks. Adams to Arnaud. It's taken there by Cole Grossman. Oh, but a nice play by Sam Cronin. That one's headed on by Matthew Thomas, but kicked out of bounds. Here's Austin DeLuz controlling on a quick throw by Adams. And he plays it off number 5. That's Matthew Thomas for the Blue Devils. Wake Forest really dominating possession early here. That ball goes out of bounds. It looks like it's off Austin DeLuz. Duke will control with a throw-in. A long throw there by Thomas, up to Grella. Here's Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld in the midfield. Oh, and there's a dangerous ball forward. That's the number 14, Joseph Pock. But a little too far. It goes out of bounds. Goal kick for Wake Forest. As you can see there, that's Akira Fitzgerald, the keeper for the Deacs. He's a product of Baltimore, Maryland. And there's Opar with the ball, controlling. Sam Cronin. If you notice, Cronin's wearing the captain's armband, and for Duke, that honor belongs to Darius Barnes, a D-man from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's a senior. Nifty little play there, but overtaken by the Deacs. Nice pass there by Cronin. Cronin to Deleuze. Deleuze controls. Into the box. Oh, but it's offside. The flag is up. The flag is up. No goal. The flag is up. As I mentioned, Duke will play some sort of offside trap, and they seem to catch Marcus Tracy off there. Tracy, another Herman Trophy candidate. He's a product of Newtown, Connecticut. He's the Deacs' leading scorer on the year. And Fitzgerald boots it deep. Cronin heads it forward, up to Arnaud. Arnaud heads it down. Here's Mike LaHood. LaHood over to Lyle Adams. Lyle Adams to Austin Deleuze. A nifty little play there. Deacs controlling the ball. Here's Adams up the left side. He's got a man in the box. And he plays it forward, and it's off Duke. That'll be the first corner of the game. That was off number 17, Pavlid Castaneda. Wake is really dangerous on these set pieces. They have a lot of guys who can jump, most notably Marcus Tracy, number 9, and Ike Opara, number 23. Looks like Corbin Bone will put it in. But it's low, and it's a nice play. It's cleared out there by Duke. Controlled in the midfield by LaHood. LaHood to Bone. Bone plays it in. It's in the box. It's in the air. Oh, and it's headed out of there. It's a nice play by Duke. Pavlid Castaneda controls. And that's Joseph Pock clearing it out. And that's Grella with a nifty little bike kick. It's Danny Wenzel stepping forward to play it forward, but Duke controls. They're moving forward. Here's Grella. You can see him streaking up the field. It's a bit too far. This is the 38th meeting between the Blue Devils and the Deacons, with Duke holding at a 21 win, 11 loss, and 5 tie advantage over Wake Forest. And last year, Wake Forest finally beat Duke 3-0 in Durham to snap a 4-game losing streak to the Blue Devils. Here's Corbin Bone. He'll take a crack. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. It's cleared out by Thomas, and Duke avoids a bullet. Corbin Bone took that rip from about 18 to 20 yards out, right off the crossbar. And here's Grella. Oh, and he's by Opara. That's a really nice play down the left side of the field. He cuts it back, maneuvers at the top of the 18, shoots, and it's saved by Fitzgerald. Duke controls. You can see when Grella gets in space, he's really dangerous. Took that crack with the right foot. Here's the lose up the sideline, and it's cleared out by Duke. Throw in Wake Forest. Lyle Adams, if you notice, takes a lot of these throw-ins for the Deacs. He's a specialist at the long ball. He's from Orlando, Florida. He's a senior. He'll throw it to Tracy. Tracy will play it forward, but it's out of bounds. It'll be Duke ball. As Matthew Thomas is going to take the throw-in here for the Devils. And there's Cody Arnaud heading it forward. And a nice play there by Darius Barnes to clear it out. Here's a little replay here. Austin Deleuze over to Corbin Bone. And Corbin Bone's rip. Excuse me, I said 18 to 20 yards out. That was more like 30. And going back to live action, here's Cronin. Cronin will play it on net, and it's handled by Fitzgerald relatively easily. Brandon Fitzgerald is a product of Boxford, Massachusetts. He's a senior. Evan Brown controls in the midfield. Over to Opara. Opara back to Brown. Brown controls. Grella apply some pressure up front. Here's Danny Wenzel. Wenzel came a long way to Wake Forest. He's from Federal Way, Washington. That's Washington State. Still lose. Up to Marcus Tracy. Oh, and a very nice slide tackle there by Darius Barnes, and Duke controls. Here's Grella. Up to number 18, Josh Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld hounded by Mike LaHood. Here's number 14, Joseph Pock controlling for the Blue Devils. Back to number 15, Cole Grossman. Grossman in the midfield. Oh, and it's a little too far for the Blue Devils there. As you can see on the screen, Wake Forest is the reigning 2007 national champion in men's soccer. Duke also won a national championship. That was 1986, and they were actually led by their first-year head coach, John Kerr, who won the National Player of the Year that year. And also, interestingly enough, he was the first American to ever play in the English Premier League. So Duke is currently sitting at 6-5-1, as I mentioned. They're not off to the hot start that they would like, but they've been ranked 3 separate weeks, so making some strides. And it looks like there's a foul in the midfield here. It looks like it's going to go against the Deacons. This is number 17, Pavlit Castaneda. He's a senior. He is a product of Babylon, New York. He will play it forward. Duke looks like they're setting something up. And here's Castaneda. Plays it into the box. It's up. Oh, and there's some trouble in the box, but it's cleared out by Deleuze. Actually, Fitzgerald looks like he's down on the play. Might be a little shaken up. I'm not sure. I think there actually might have been a foul called in the box against Duke. I think it's apt to mention that Wake Forest is currently on an 18-game winning streak. That streak ranks 11th in NCAA history. And if they win tonight and move their streak to 19 games, that'll move them up to number 7 all-time in NCAA history. They're also unbeaten in their last 29 games at home. That's the 7th longest streak in NCAA history, with their last loss coming on September 23rd, 2006, against a very good Maryland team. Here's Wenzel to Deleuze. Deleuze plays it forward to Adams, but it's handled well by Matthew Thomas, and Thomas will clear it out. Big crowd on hand here for this game. With a chilly temperature of 52 degrees, it hasn't really dropped below 60 here in Winston-Salem so far this year. So there's Deleuze. He tried to play it off a Duke defender, but it's cleared out. Wake Forest dominating possession early. Here's Arnaud. And there's Matthew Thomas again. Deleuze will take the throw. And he will play it up to Mike LaHood, where he's met by number 14, Joseph Pock. Repossessed by the Deeks. Here's Mike LaHood again. He'll play it back to Sam Cronin in the midfield. Cronin to Evan Brown. Brown back to Ike Opara. Up to Sam Cronin. Back to Danny Wenzel. To Deleuze. It's Cody Arnaud. Deleuze controls. Looking for Marcus Tracy, but a nice step through there by Darius Barnes. Oh, Mike Grella plays it off his shins, and it's recontrolled by the Deeks. "31 minutes left in this one, 0-0. Nice ball there. Arnaud goes down in the box, but no call. Not much contact. On the far side of the field, looks like that was Evan Brown, and it's going to be Duke ball. It's number 2, Ian Kalis. He's a freshman. He's a product of Plano, Texas. controlled by the Deacs. Taken by Duke. Flag goes up by the referee's assistant. I think that made that call. And it'll be Wake Forest ball. I believe that's the first or second foul on Duke. Here's Evan Brown. Let's see what he's going to do here. Looks like he's going to try to play it into the box. But he plays it short to Corbin Bone. Bone finds Cronin. Cronin controls to Evan Brown. Back to Cronin. There's Mike LaHood to Corbin Bone. Here's Austin DeLuz. And DeLuz plays an interesting ball there to the right side of the field that skips out of bounds. Maybe trying to get a little too fancy. That through ball for Grella goes untouched to the Wake Forest defense. Here's Opara playing it up. There's Marcus Tracy, but it's a great play by Barnes to go up for the header and control the ball. And Thomas clears. A lot of throw-ins early here for the Deacs. Sam Cronin. Back to Danny Wenzel. Wenzel's going to play this ball forward. And the flag is up, offsides on Wake Forest. Arnu snuck behind the defense there, but Duke played a pretty nice offside trap. And here's Darius Barnes. He'll chip it forward. It's controlled by Grella. Duke still controls. There's Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld over to Grossman. And taken by the Deacs. Evan Brown up the right side to the middle. It's taken by Duke. LaHood plays it forward with a header. And it's cleared out by Duke. Here's DeLuz. He controls in the midfield. He pushes forward. But will take his time and kick it back. Here's Sam Cronin. Cronin up to Arno. Little mix up there in the back for Duke. Here's Lyle Adams over to Mike LaHood. And challenged there by Grella, but controlled by LaHood. That's a nice play there by Mike LaHood. Here's Marcus Tracy in the front for the Deacs. As I said, a dangerous striker. He's to lose with a nifty little move to the left side. And it's kicked out. Wake off to its best start in ACC history at 4-0. Their previous best record was 3-0, and that was in 2002. And Duke actually holds an advantage in the series when in Winston-Salem. Duke leads the series 9 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. A quick throw in there. Here's LaHood. LaHood controls back to Wenzel. Wenzel over to Opara. Opara plays it forward to Cody Arno, and Arno plays it out of bounds. Looking there for Evan Brown, streaking up the right side of the field, coming up from his defensive position. Wake Forest has actually outscored its opponents on the year 48-8. You're not going to lose many games when you're scoring 3.7 a game, especially when your goalkeeper has 8 shutouts on the year, and that's Akira Fitzgerald. Here's Cronin. Cronin finds Bone. Corbin Bone controls. Streaks towards the center of the field. And a nice play there. A nice clear out by number 15, Cole Grossman. But it's retaken by LaHood. And here's Josh Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld pushes forward. Ball through the midfield. Plays it to Grella. But it's taken by Wenzel. Wenzel controls on the left side. played forward. And here's Sam Cronin controlling in the midfield. Looking for Marcus Tracy. Tracy controls. And here's a through ball looking for Mike Rella. But it's cleared out by Wenzel. Really, the only thing Duke is trying to do offensively right now seems to be kick it deep and hope Mike Rella outruns the Wake Forest defenders. And if you give him open space, as I mentioned, he's probably going to put the ball in the back of the net. But right now, Duke really just putting men behind the ball, trying to thwart that Demon Deacon attack. Here's Opara. Opara steps through, and there's Lahoud. Nice take there by Josh Bienenfeld. But it's controlled by Cronin. Cronin streaks through the middle. And this is Christian Ibeyaga. Here's Evan Brown playing the ball on the side. He'll throw the ball in. And here's Ibeyaga again, looking forward for number 14, Joseph Pock. Pock's got some room on the left side. But it's taken by Adams, and Adams seems to have kicked it off Pock, and it's going to be Wake Forest ball. Adams throws it in to Lahoud. Lahoud back to Wenzel. Wenzel clears it out. There's Darius Barnes controlling for Duke. Wake Forest fans wanted a foul call. And that ball is taken by Pablo Castaneda. Castaneda looking for Grella. Grella's got some room. Grella controls it to the box, cuts it back, shoots, and it's stopped by Fitzgerald. A nice follow-up there by Grossman, but the ball kicked out of bounds. Mike Grella found some space, was one-on-one with Akira Fitzgerald, pulled the ball back, took a shot with his left foot, but Akira Fitzgerald made a pretty good save. And I'm telling you folks, you do not want him in the open field. He's going to put the ball in the back of the net if that happens again for Wake Forest. Here's Wenzel. Wenzel up to Bone. Bone finds Arno. Back to Bone. Nice little 1-2. To Deleuze. Deleuze finds Tracy, but it's a little too far. It's controlled by Brendan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald punts it deep. It's headed out of there by Lahoud. Taken by number 5, Matthew Thomas. Thomas looks at the far side of the field. Duke controls. It's Bienenfeld struggling for the ball. Step through there by Duke, but cleared out by Evan Brown. And here's a nice play. Here's Corbin Bone streaking down the middle. He's taken down, and Wake Forest is going to earn a foul call. Corbin Bone was taken down in the midfield. Here's the lose. Let's see what Wake Forest decides to do here, whether to play it short or go into the box. About 50 yards out. 21 minutes left here, 0-0. Wake Forest pushing play early, but Duke's had its fair share of chances as well with Mike Rella up front. There's Bone, plays it into the box. There's Tracy, and it skips through untouched. It'll be a goal kick for Duke. No subs yet early. Wake Forest won its last game against UNC Greensboro 6-0. 5 different Deeks scored goals to earn Coach Jay Vidovich his 200th career victory. It's played back there. There's some pressure up front, but Fitzgerald clears it out. The Deeks a little sloppy in the back early. Here's Bone. Bone outruns Thomas. Back to Lahoud. And it's taken in the midfield by Grossman. Grossman runs forward. He's got Grella. A very nice little ball there. Grella and Opara struggle for the ball. And a foul call is going to be called on Mike Rella. Fitzgerald plays it quickly to Wenzel. Wenzel up to Lahoud. Lahoud over to Lyle Adams. Adams up to Bone. Adams from that defender position loves running upfield, creating chances. And here he is, speak of the devil. He's going to have a chance in the box, cuts it back, but a nice play there by Duke. Wake Forest fans want to call, and they're going to get one. That's going to be a foul called on Matthew Thomas, number 5 for the Blue Devils. Lyle Adams working hard from that defender position, pushing forward, trying to make something happen for the Deeks up front. And this is a dangerous spot for both Duke and the Deeks. Deeks obviously looking for one of their tall jumping targets, but we'll see if Duke can clear the ball off the line here. Looks like Bone and Cronin are the ones who are deciding who's going to take it and where they're going to play it. And it looks like it's going to be Cronin. Cronin plays it into the box to the far post, but too far. Pretty free-flowing game early. Only 6 foul calls combined, 5 on Duke, 1 on Wake. 3 shots for each team. And both keepers with 2 saves each. Fitzgerald boots it deep. Played up there to Grella. Grella controls. The thing about Grella is that because he's Duke's really only offensive threat at the moment, he's surrounded by a sea of white jerseys in the back, most notably Opara, but he gets behind them here. On the far side of the field, cuts it back, a nifty little move there. He's in the box. Plays it forward, but it's stepped through and taken by the Deeks. A good play there on the back. Here's Corbin Bone. And I think they said that Bone handled the ball. Yeah, they called a handball on Corbin Bone. The Duke's going to get the ball in the midfield. We'll see if Duke sets something up here, whether they're just going to play it short. And that looks like they are indeed going to set something up and try to play this ball into the box. This is number 17, Pablo Castaneda, who looks like he's going to put this ball into the box for Duke. He plays it in, and it's jumped up and taken by the goalkeeper, Fitzgerald. He looks to play it, but decides not. And he'll distribute the ball over to Lyle Adams. Adams up to Bone. Bone controls on the left side of the field. Looking for Arno, but stepped through when taken by Castaneda. Castaneda plays it up and repossessed by Wenzel. Wenzel over to Lahoud, Lahoud to Adams, and Adams boots it deep. Marcus Tracy goes up for it and wins it. Here's Arno. Arno to Cronin. Arno gets it back. Oh, but a great play there by Darius Barnes. That was a clean tackle. Darius Barnes really making some key tackles for the Blue Devils early in the back. Here's Evan Brown. He'll play it back to Ike Opara. Opara will switch field to Lyle Adams, who'll control and look back for Wenzel. Wenzel, the only freshman starter for the Deeks tonight. Here's Arnu. Arnu flicks it up to Marcus Tracy, but it's a bit too far and taken by the goalkeeper. 16 minutes left in this first half of Duke and Wake. Taken by Lyle Adams. Played forward. There's Barnes in the back again. Whiffs a little bit, but Duke's lucky to come out of that unscathed. Here's Lahoud. Lahoud to Bone. Bone across the field. And there's Evan Brown coming up from his defender position. Deeks have numbers up front. Finds Deleuze. Deleuze back to Brown. Brown's going to cut it back. Put it into the box, but it's taken there by Duke, no harm. It was Bienenfeld who was challenged by Opara, and that's going to be Duke ball. Wake looked real good early, dominating play, but Duke has sort of stemmed the tide a little bit. Still dominating possession, though, for Wake Forest. And here's Opara. Opara to Cronin. Cronin looks back. And finds Brown on the left side, on the right side. Brown's going to play that ball forward, looking for Marcus Tracy. But it will go untouched into the box, where it's picked up by Brendan Fitzgerald, who distributes to Matthew Thomas. Thomas looking for Grella. Played a bit too far. It's played out by Wenzel. And here's Lahoud. Opara. Up to Marcus Tracy, who's been pretty quiet early on. Austin Deleuze. To Sam Cronin. Cronin back to Deleuze. Deleuze looks. And we'll go to the left side to Lyle Adams, who's behind the Duke defense. But he puts a little dribble shot / pass on goal, and it's handled easily by Brendan Fitzgerald. Looks like Lyle got wrong-footed and sort of had to play that with the left foot when he wanted to play it with the right foot. Still lose. There's Cole Grossman. Oh, and Grossman plays it a little too far for Joseph Pock. Those are the turnovers that really kill teams in the midfield, especially when you need as much possession as you can get if you're Duke. Here's the lose. And Arno is taken down by Matthew Thomas. That's the 6th foul on Duke. Looks like there's an injury on the play. That's Joseph Pock, but he looks like he's okay. The referee stopped the clock. 13 minutes and 54 seconds left. 0-0 Wake and Duke. As you can see there, Pock trots over to the trainer. It looks like he's okay. He'll step off the pitch for a minute or two and re-enter as soon as possible, I'm sure. And Duke has made a change here. Tammy Molinar has come in. And I think he was actually replacing Pock. Here's Grossman. Grossman controls on the right side, but it's taken by Wenzel. Grossman had a nice little run there going. Really the first offensive threat for Duke aside from something. Oh, and it's a misplayed in the back by Matthew Thomas, and Lyle Adams controls on the left side. He'll kick it forward, cut it back, play it into the box, but there's no one home. And here's the freshly inserted Molinar. He's a speedster. He's only about 5'7". Here's Grella, looking for Molinar. Molinar's a freshman from Chandler, Arizona. He's actually 2nd on the team in points. Excuse me, 3rd on the team. Ball is played forward by Duke, but Fitzgerald will handle it and play it up to Wenzel. Wenzel plays it forward, but there's no one there for Wake. This is number 8, Nick C. C will play it forward, looking for, of course, Mike Grella. But it's controlled by Evan Brown in the midfield. Midfield cut, he cuts, finds Opara in the back, who pushes it over to Wenzel. Wenzel up to Sam Cronin. Cronin controls. The left foot looks for Lyle Adams on the left side. Adams steps forward. He controls. Looks in the middle. There's Corbin Bone, who has to play it back. Again, looked like he got a little wrong-footed there, Corbin Bone did. But a mess up on the back. Coburn Bourne shoots, but it's over the net. A mistake on the back line for Duke leads to a golden opportunity for Corbin Bone, but he put it over the net. Bones had some chances early. If you remember, he hit the crossbar from about 30 yards out, but that one just a bit too high. Here's Fitzgerald. He'll play it deep, where it is won by Wake Forest, but booted out by Duke. Opara heads it forward. Played back by Duke. And there's Molinar. Molinar gets the ball dispossessed by Brown. And Wake controls back to Danny Wenzel. Wenzel finds Deleuze, back to Wenzel. And here's Deleuze down the left side. He looks for Lyle Adams, but a bit too far. And that looks like it's going to be a goal kick for Duke. Duke with several goal kicks here early, as Wake has continually tried to play the ball forward. It's played into the midfield, where it's taken by Cronin. Cronin to Bone. Bone controls. Finds Mike Lahoud. Lahoud finds Deleuze, where he's taken down in the midfield, and there's going to be a foul called here, and it looks like a yellow card is going to be awarded. That card goes to number 15, Cole Grossman. Deleuze is down. Wake Forest fans not happy with that challenge there by Grossman. Wake Forest. Austin Deleuze down on the play. 10 minutes, 32 seconds left between Wake Forest and Duke in first half action. As you can see, Wake Forest with 4 shots on net, while Duke has 3. Each keeper's had to make 2 saves. Duke's the only team with an opportunity from the corner so far, but they've only had 1. They're a team that averages a lot of corners a game, so we'll see if that stat increases. That's a key for the Deacons. They're very good off set pieces. And Deleuze is up and looks like he's okay. Interesting note about college soccer for those that don't know. On the awarding of a card or an injury, the clock is actually stopped. So the clock rests at 10 minutes and 32 seconds. And it looks like it's going to be Corbin Bone playing the ball into the box here at low, but it's cleared out by Duke. A good play there. Wenzel in the back. Over to Cronin on the left side. Oh, but it looks like there's a Wake player down. And that is Ike Opara, I believe. Yeah, that is Ike Opara, who looks like he did something to his knee or ankle or leg. He's crouched in the Duke box. He's probably shaken up on that set piece from the midfield by the Deeks. But he looks like he's okay. A nice pat there from Darius Barnes from Duke. So Duke will have the throw in here, and they will just throw the ball back to the Deeks. A sportsmanlike play from the Blue Devils. Here's Sam Cronin. Cronin across the field to Ike Opara, who looks like he's okay. Opara's going to play this ball deep. Looking for Tracy. Tracy heads it into the box, but it's taken by goalkeeper Brendan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald boots it deep. But it's played forward. Here's an opportunity for number 8 for Duke, Nick C., but it's taken by Wenzel. Wenzel back to Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald clears. Here's Austin Deleuze. Looking down the left side for Cody Arno, where he's pushed down by Darius Barnes, and there's going to be a foul called on the play. Actually, no foul, just Wake ball. Ball kicked out of bounds there by Darius Barnes. Here's Deleuze. Finds Cronin. Cronin takes it deep for the Deeks. And it looks like it's played off a Duke player. It's played off Josh Bienenfeld, and it's going to be a corner for the Deeks. Looks like Sam Cronin will be the one who plays it here. He'll take it with the right foot. You can see Opara in your screen perhaps running forward to try to get in on the action. Here's Cronin. Played into the box, where it is headed off by Barnes. Oh, a misplay there by Duke, but it's cleared out, where it is taken by Evan Brown. Oh, Evan Brown is pushed down. Evan Brown, and there's going to be a foul called on the play. That brings the tally to 8 fouls now for Duke, while the Deeks only have 2 themselves. Of course, just the 1 yellow card awarded so far. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half here. Score still tied at 0s. And if you're Duke, you have to be happy because usually by this point, Wake has put a goal or two across. And the fact that this game is 0-0 right now can only be taken as a positive thing for Duke. Here's DeLuz. It looks like he's going to try to play it into the box. He does. High. It's kicked deep, but it's taken there. A nice play there by the goalkeeper, Brendan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will boot it deep. Or it's controlled by Lahoud. Here's Mike Grella. Oh, and a nice challenge there. Here's Nick C., but he's offside. The flag is up. Wake Forest will control the ball in the back. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remain here. Cronin plays it up to DeLuz. DeLuz carries it through the midfield, looking for a foul, but he's not going to get one there. Not much contact. A good play by Ibeyega to dispossess him of the ball. And it'll be a Duke throw-in on the far side. Ball is taken by Cole Grossman, who controls. Looking forward for Nick C., but too far and taken by Akira Fitzgerald, who distributes to Lyle Adams down the left side. And Adams will just play it back to Wenzel. Wenzel looking forward to switch field. And it's taken by Duke. Here's Marcus Tracy. Incredibly dangerous. But Lahoud will control in the midfield for the Deeks, who pushes it back to Adams. Adams looks and finds Arno. Arno tries to flick it with his back foot, but there's no one there. Here's Ibeyega. Ibeyega controls, but it's cleared out, and there's going to be a foul called on Wake Forest here, Duke ball. We'll see what Duke decides to do here. A bit far out to see if they can play into the box, but crazier things have happened. Here's Castaneda from the midfield stripe. Castaneda plays it into the box, or it's headed out, but there's a foul on Duke no matter what. Opara will play the ball over to Lyle Adams, who chests it down, controls, looks, finds Cronin in the middle, who looks for Corbin Bone. Bone plays it back to Lyle Adams, who plays it back to Bone, who was looking for Adams streaking down the left side, but a little too far. And it'll be a Duke throw-in. Looks like there's going to be a substitution made here for the Blue Devils. That's number 7, Ryan McDaniel, a 5'7" midfielder from Longwood, Florida. And an interesting note, his brother Austin is also on the team, and their father played for Duke soccer. Thomas looks, finds Grella downfield, but it's headed down by Lyle Adams. Back to Wenzel. Wenzel finds Opara in the middle. Pressure being applied by Bienenfeld. Here's Cronin. Back to Opara. Just under 4 minutes left here in the first half. Score still tied at 0. Both teams have had some chances. Grella for Duke, Bone for Wake Forest. And Bone controls. He finds Lahoud in the middle. Lahoud was looking for Evan Brown there, but is controlled by Duke. And cleared off the back. There's Wenzel. Taken by Duke. There's Tammy Molinar. But once again played back to Opara. There's a deep ball looking for Marcus Tracy, but it looks like it's going to be a bit too far. It'll roll out of bounds, but it'll just be a throw-in for Duke. No goal kick awarded. It's Pavlid Castaneda. Ian Kalis will take the throw for Duke. Ball played out there. Wake Forest fans wanted the ball to belong to the Deeks, but it's going to be Duke ball. Here's Kalis again. The Hood repossesses the ball in the midfield to Corbin Bone. But it's taken there by the recently... Oh, no, it's Mike Rella, who's looking for McDaniel. McDaniel down the left side here. McDaniel controls deep in Wake Forest territory, but plays it off Wenzel. It'll be a corner for Duke, their first of the game. Let's see who's going to take this corner here for the Blue Devils. Looks like it's going to be number 2, Ian Kalis, who takes the corner for the Blue Devils. Kalis looks like he's going to tee it up with the left foot here. See what happens. Puts it into the box. It's clear. That was Tracy who got a head on it. And it's controlled by the Deeks. They'll look to counter. Here comes Cody Arno. He's tackled there. That's Cole Grossman. But no card is going to be awarded there. Wake Forest fans really upset with that one. Grossman's got to be careful out there. That's played off a Wake Forest shin. 1 minute and 13 seconds left here in the first half. Still no score. And we'll see how long Fitzgerald takes here to tee this ball up. He's probably going to take as much time as he possibly can. And Fitzgerald will play it deep. Ibiega plays it forward, where he repossesses it in the midfield. There's McDaniel. No one home for the Blue Devils. Here's Wenzel. 30 seconds left here in the half. The Deeks want to do something. You got to start moving forward pretty soon. But that ball's going to be played too far and handled easily by Fitzgerald in the back for Duke. Fitzgerald will boot it deep here. 15 seconds left. Looking for Grella, but it'll go harmlessly out of bounds. 8 seconds left now. And it looks like we're going to go to halftime here with no score between Wake Forest and Duke. And that's got to be some sort of a moral victory here for Duke. Wake Forest is a team that likes to jump on its opponents early. And the teams will head to the locker rooms on this chilly Saturday evening in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And we're back for second half action between Wake Forest and Duke here in an ACC conference game, men's soccer. And I wanted to correct myself. I credited the yellow card to Cole Grossman in the first half. That actually belonged to Matthew Thomas, number 5 for Duke. But Wake Forest finding themselves in a little bit of a different situation offensively than they're used to in ACC games. They came into the game with 243 shots for the year. That's about 18.6 through their 13 games. They have just 4 tonight. And they came into the game averaging 5.25 goals per game in ACC play. So obviously being shut out at the half is something that the Deeks aren't used to. But give credit to Duke. They put 9 men behind the ball. They just have Mike Grella up front, and they're doing a really good job of thwarting the Deacon attack. The lineups for Duke pretty much look the same. Again, Tammy Molinar came in before. He remains in playing a forward position. And for the Deeks, as they break the huddle, it looks like everything is the same except Jamie Franks has now entered the game, number 11 for Wake Forest. And I believe that's the only change. Oh, and number 12, Jack Solowski for Wake Forest has also taken over at one of the forward positions, coming in for Cody Arnaud. And we're back underway. Here's Bone, playing to the recently inserted Jamie Franks. He'll give it back to Cronin. Here's number 6, Christian Ibayega. Challenge there, over there on the far side against Lyle Adams. But it'll be Wake Forest ball. Adams throws in, where it's played back to Ike Opara. Opara controls in the back. Opara looks up and finds Evan Brown down the near side of the field, but the ball is ruled out of bounds. It'll be Duke ball. It'll be a throw-in for Duke. This is Ian Kalis throwing in for the Blue Devils. It's taken by Evan Brown. Jamie Franks is challenged by Molinar. Ball is played forward by Kalis. Into the air, he's Ibayega. There's Franks heading it down to Corbin Bone. Bone back to Franks, who chests it over to Mike LaHood. But it's taken by Grossman in the midfield and now controlled by Molinar. Looking for Mike Grella up front, but it's taken by Ike Opara. Opara over to Cronin in the middle. Cronin plays it back to Ike Opara, who gives it to Jamie Franks. Deacon's got a little something cooking here. So he looks for Marcus Tracy down the... He's behind the defense. He looks across. Nothing there. Corbin Bone took a crack at it, but it was knocked out by Duke. Here's Mike LaHood. Wake Forest with a pretty good chance there as the ball was slated across the box. It's taken there. There's Matthew Thomas. Thomas to Grella. Wenzel runs over a Duke player. No foul called on the play. Referee will play the advantage. Looking for Grella up front, but taken by Wenzel, who gives it back to Opara, and there's a player down on the play. And it looks like they're going to bring out the medical staff. Can't get a good look at who it is who's down, but I think it involved the Wenzel challenge. .43 minutes left here in the second half. 0-0. So Wake with an early opportunity here in the second half, as Marcus Tracy found himself behind the Duke defenders, played a ball across the middle, but Corbin Bone's shot was blocked in the box by Duke. You can see a couple of wigged gentlemen in the front row. And it looked like the player is up. I can't get a number. I can't really see who it is. Looks like number 18, Josh Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld comes from Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. He's a junior. So Lyle Adams will play the ball for Wake Forest. We'll see if he gives it back to Duke. I'm not really sure as to what exactly was going on at the end of the play, but as you can see, Bienenfeld limping on the sidelines. But Wake Forest will possess the ball. Here's Ike Opara. Opara up to Sam Cronin. Cronin looks deep, looking for Shalosky. Wake Forest fans may remember Shalosky as the goal scorer for the game winner in the national championship last year. Shalosky hails from Cary, North Carolina, which made the goal that much sweeter, as that's where the Final Four was played, the 2007 College Cup. That was Castaneda playing it up. That's won by Evan Brown. Here's Jamie Franks. Back to Evan Brown. Brown finds Franks. Franks controls. Plays it back to Ike Opara, where he mishandles the ball. It's taken by number 15, Cole Grossman, but it's fired high. Fitzgerald will play it short here. Wenzel controls on the back. Gives it to Evan Brown, who controls. Looks for Corbin. Oh, sorry, that's Shalosky. But it's taken by Temi Molinar. Molinar controls. Here's Mike Grella streaking down the left side. But Opara plays it. Controls. Nice little dribble move there at the back to avoid booting the ball out of bounds and maintain possession for Wake Forest. And Wake Forest will counter. That was Marcus Tracy. And here's the recently inserted Bienenfeld, the guy who was just down. Cronin. Up to Franks. Franks controls, but plays it too far. I believe he was looking for Marcus Tracy on the far side of the field. It's Fitzgerald. He'll take his time. And then boot it deep. Mike Grella tries to corral the ball, but it's taken by Wake Forest. Jamie Franks to Mike LaHood. LaHood has the ball taken from him. Over to Molinar. Molinar controls. He'll take a crack on net, but it's blocked. Evan Brown got his foot in there. Here's Castaneda. Castaneda looks for Grella. Grella controls at the top of the box, but it's booted out of there by Lyle Adams. Matthew Thomas takes it for Duke. Looks like Nick C. on the far side of the field who had that ball. Clock is going to be stopped here. And I believe that Lyle Adams is going to be given a yellow card here. Yes, Lyle Adams receives a yellow card from the referee. Perhaps a bit of a harsh call there by the ref, but a yellow nonetheless. He's the first Demon Deacon booked. Once again, that was Thomas for Duke, who earned his yellow in the first half. Ball's played in. That was Darius Barnes looking to get ahead on the ball, but the ball scoots out of bounds. Where it's taken by Akira Fitzgerald, who looks like he's going to try to play it pretty quickly here. And he'll find Wenzel. Wenzel dribbles, finds LaHood. Here's Shalosky. Shalosky over to Evan Brown. Evan Brown pushes forward, but plays the ball too far for Jamie Franks. But the ball is given back to the Deeks by Duke. Ike Opara to Jamie Franks. Franks up to Marcus Tracy, who gives it back to Franks. Franks chests it down, finds LaHood. We'll give it back to Opara. Opara steps forward. Was looking for a streaking Shalosky there. That was Marcus Tracy on Cole Grossman. And Opara takes it up to Bone. Matthew Thomas looks like he... Oh, no, a foul will be called. Thomas has to be careful. He has that yellow to his name already. Ball taken here by Sam Cronin. Cronin looks for Adams. Adams takes it on the far side of the field. See if he tries to play it into the box here. He makes a nice move to the corner. Plays it low. Looks like he mishit the ball. And it's cleared out by Duke, but taken by Wenzel. Wenzel back up to Corbin Bone. Corbin Bone over to Sam Cronin in the middle. Cronin will chip it in. Finds Tracy. He gives it to Franks to Lahoud. Here's Solowski. And it's played out wide. Lyle Adams plays it into the box, but it scoots harmlessly through. Here's Evan Brown for another chance. Into the box again. Headed out by Duke. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Wake Forest throwing. Evan Brown to Jamie Franks. Franks back to Lahoud, and Lahoud will settle things down and give it back to Opara. Wenzel and Opara play catch in the back. And Opara will switch field looking for Lyle Adams, a beautiful ball. Adams will head it. Try to beat his Duke defender, but a nice play there. But Adams controls, looks across the middle, and it actually hit the outside of the post. And here's Nick C. for Duke. C controls, finds Grella. Grella up to Bienenfeld. Bienenfeld steps through. Here's Grossman. Grossman looking for, and here's Grella. Grella's going to be one-on-one with the keeper here. Oh, but Opara catches up with him. A really nice play there by Ike Opara. Grella still controls at the back. A back heel is intercepted by Mike Lahoud, and the threat is ended. Corbin Bone in the midfield for Wake Forest. He's going to find Marcus Tracy. Marcus Tracy has Shalowski with him. He shoots! Oh, and he puts it wide. Marcus Tracy put the ball wide. He was one-on-one with the keeper and put it past the right post. Obviously, visibly frustrated with that opportunity. Really the best opportunity that the Deacs have had all night, save Corbin Bone's blast from the midfield earlier in the game. But both teams really getting up and down the field now, attacking and counterattacking. Here's Cronin, wins the ball. Shalowski. It's Corbin Bone to Jamie Franks. It's Lahoud. Lahoud to Cronin. Back to Lahoud. Here's Corbin Bone to Shalowski. Looks for Bone, but repossessed by Duke. Here's Mike Grella. To the far side of the field. Looking for Tammy Molinar, but intercepted by Ike Opara. Here's a shot of the opportunity that was missed by Tracy. So you can see he blasts it, but puts it just wide. Back to live action, Evan Brown to Marcus Tracy, who plays it back to Ike Opara, who puts it on the other side of the field to Danny Wenzel, to Sam Cronin. Jamie Franks, Shalowski, back to Corbin Bone, who's a freshman All-American last year, Corbin Bone was. Bone to Cronin. Cronin looks for Adams, but puts it behind him. But it's headed out by Nick C. It'll be Wake Forest ball. Adams throws it in to Lahoud. Lahoud controls, takes it. Nice little pass there to Adams. Adams will put it off a Duke defender. It'll cross over the end line, and it'll be a corner kick for Wake Forest. This is just their third of the game. They averaged just about 6.5 per match coming into this one. And once again, they'll be looking for those tall targets of Marcus Tracy and Ike Opara. Something that Wake has really excelled in is set pieces in the past 2 years on this run of success. And that's put in. Oh! It's headed in, but Brendan Fitzgerald makes a good save. It was right at his chest. Wake Forest got ahead on that one. Fitzgerald boots it deep. Looking for Grella, but Cronin wins that one. There's Grossman. Taken by Shalowski. Shalowski finds Tracy. Tracy to Bone. Bone will blast one, but it's over the net. An ambitious try from Corbin Bone from that far out. Here's a replay of that last corner kick. A good save there by Brendan Fitzgerald. Here's Joseph Pock returning. He left the game earlier with an injury. And Thomas leaves. It's Mike Grella with a back heel. A little too fancy. Corbin Bone to Evan Brown. See if Bone can outrun. Nope. Who was that? That was number 17, Castaneda, who clears it out for Duke. Looks like there might be another substitution here. Tammy Molinar appears to be leaving the game. And it looks like Ryan McDaniel will re-enter the game here for the Blue Devils. Brown with a throw-in. Finds Tracy. Tracy to Lahoud. Lahoud over to Corbin Bone. Corbin Bone cuts it back. But no one's in the middle for Wake Forest. And Duke will find Mike Grella. Ball booted around, but looks like it goes off Mike Grella for a Wake Forest throw-in. And Alpara throws it to Danny Wenzel. Wenzel over to Lyle Adams. Adams looking for Sam Cronin, but it's intercepted by a Duke defender. And Duke controls on the far side. This looks like Bienenfeld controlling for Duke. But the ball's taken by Wake Forest. Here's number 23, Darius Barnes, playing that out of the back for Duke. And this is Ibiega. Ibiega moves forward. Dribbles, finds Grella. Once again, Grella is maybe the most dangerous player on the field for either team, certainly for Duke. The ball's played back there by Wake Forest. Fitzgerald can't play that ball with his hands. He has to play that with his feet, but he clears it. Marcus Tracy controls, but Barnes will recover it for Duke. Ball's played forward. Taken by Shalosky. Excuse me, that was Corbin Bone. But taken by Kalis.